This is Gerald Johan van Was. In this video I will explain to you a word as seen from a contextual viewpoint, and it will describe what it really means, a word as seen from the letter positions. And I will explain to you the word service. And for this approach I use my theory that gives every letter a position in time and space. So we have a frame for the letters that are mostly focused upon space, some letters that are mostly focused upon timing, and some letters that are mostly making its way of context in the last frame. I will not go deeper into the theory here, but our starting point is mostly that we try to figure out as quick as possible where we can start to place the thing, place the idea in a placement, in an objective placement that we can really see, okay, here is the object and that's what I can do with it. And that's what our goal is mainly to achieve. And so that means that we have, we go from our position, the letter A is a kind of estimation, and we try to figure out what a thing means, what all the things mean. We see it from a position of order that we try to distinct the differences, the features, and what we can do with it. The second position can also be used as a starting point. It is used in the Eastern language. That's why I also use an investigation of the Chinese script, because it uses the middle frame and it sees all the balances as the foundation to figure out how things hang together in timings, in communication, in all of its changes and the positions of these changes into a larger context. Of course, you can see the things immediately in the right context, but that's a bit more difficult. I will try to get to that as well, that you can do that a bit more quickly, that you do all these things at once, that you immediately see, okay, this is the contextual order and balance. And all the letters, as I said, they have a position, a very specific position in time and or space. So the first 9 letters in space, the next 10 letters in timing, and the next 7 letters in the contextual frame. Of course, there are 3 times 3 positions or 9 positions in each frame, but we have the letters that fit very well from this are these letters that have that numerical position. The words from the word service, if you can see where they are in our system, there's just one letter which is as a reference of a placement. There's only one letter that has a reference to a time frame, and it's the letter A, which is about timing. Most of the letters are actually focusing upon the context, and that gives a different approach than, for instance, trying to figure out where it is immediately and start to build up from there, or try to find out how the forms are building up in the timings. Now here we have to see what kind of context do we build up and how is the context, and from the context we can see where the positions are that matter and where the timings are that matter. So that's a different approach, and that makes it interesting to use the word service for it, to analyze that word and see what it means. And I will explain that to you, how you can understand that approach with that word actually quite easily. The letter C, what's that kind of position? From the position of the timing, they are at the 3rd position, so they are a little bit further away in our own space, and we have to try to figure out where is it more or less far away, it is a kind of estimation of a starting point. We don't see the starting point immediately. But what will help, of course, is, again, context is at the third level of the spatial thing. It is already at that third level. So context also there will be helpful to have and to pinpoint the place for it, because that's what you need. You can only see the estimation well when you also know the context. The second category was, of course, the second letter that we had was in the timing. It is just about timing. So there are two visions that I have a center position in the other frame. So the one is the estimation, the other one is the timing. So we need that, but all the rest is about timing. So it's a good idea. Let's start to build up the full word from the context position. I will start it from where I am. That's that first I there. I'll start it from there, and I see it very far away what's going on there. I see then, and I'll try to achieve a general common vision that you can use at several places, at several occasions, and so on. That's what the purpose will be of any contextual framing. A few letters I will explain before I start to build up. The S in a way are all the possibilities, all the activity that surrounds us, all the effects in the end that will be left over from all the interactions that you see there. But of course there's only one part of it which is really measured, and that's also in the general context or the general rules. There we count just one part that comes to us. That's the effect that it will have as a common effect. The V is also in the contextual frame. The letter V is about, okay, can I look it up in the theory? The V is about a placement of the goods immediately directed back to the place where they belong. So you put them back at its place, its common place. They can be used, and they are at their rightful place. That's the V. It moves these things to the rightful place. So in the end, I had this kind of scheme with three focuses. I have the context frame, where you can see on the table all my attention, which goes to the right positions, in the right activity, in the right action. And of course, the estimation in C is involved, the A is involved of the timings. But it's built up already here, but it's better that I build it up slowly, that you can see how does these letters interact, how do they build up from the context. So I will do that. And of course, also with the S, for instance, which is the first letter, I said S can be all the leftover effects that there are. Now here in the three regions of focus, the space, the time, and the context, we use the common focus, and that far away edge there where you can see, okay, this is the common good. Let's see where the S is useful, where this usefulness can be focused upon. And that's just one of these waves that have an interaction on these context frames. So that's how you can imagine it. Okay, here's the S, here's the effect, the final effect at the context, at the borders, that I will try to focus upon and sense it, what is going on there. That's my first letter. The second letter will be the timing. So that means that I have to go and watch what this S will lead to after a while. And I will do that. I will go and see where this S is going to. This logically leads to the next letter, the R, because R is making connections in timings, connect the timing. So within my frame of general context, I will do that. I will make the connections in timing. And even if I use the computer, I can't it's a bit harder to have these yeah, this program which is based upon on this S form. It immediately jumps all the time, but it fits with the R positions. So that's why what I also will use. It's automatically that the S jumps here a little bit and finds its connection points a bit accidentally, but they are at the rightful place that I can organize my timings, the different timings of the S's here. S for now it's just abstract, but you will immediately see where it will lead to. I have already the connections in the timings with the R, and this also will lead quite easily to connections, of course, that will be brought together. It lies the pathway to V, bring together the material that I need here to have a good effect after a while. That's what we can already understand by this puzzle. So where all the materials will lead to, they will be led to where they belong. That's the V. And this is already a good idea. So I can bring back with full effect in a timing all the material which I will bring to the common good table, and I will be using them and put them on the table so that I can use them. That's already a good idea. So the next letter is the E. This is it is a practical idea that I will use as an idea, and that's already a very good foundation for the word, and it gives you already a first hint to understand what service is about. And so I will go back to the to a little bit more context. Now, in this way, because I start to understand what's going on already in survey, in the survey here, it also means that I am trying to see the context well, and I'm going to see how I can place it into reality. And that's a logical order in my thinking. Next letter is also finally coming to the right placement. The first region, which for us as Western thinking is our main goal, our objective. We want to have the things as quickly as possible as an objective that is physical, that you measure in space, and that you can see where it is especially. And then only afterwards you can also say, okay, then when and how. First, where. Now, finally, we come to the where thing. So we have the objective goal, which pinpoints its position in space, and it does this via C, the letter C. And the letter C is this estimation. As you see, this I, it has some variations, which looks very far away and tries to figure out where can I place my things, which things are practical, which ones are not. It's far away, it's in the context, but actually we already know where our attention points will lead to. After the E, you have the C. So here are my already three kinds of positions that we can give our attention to. We have our attention to, we put it on the table, we can provide it our attention. And the last letter is again the A, and the A is again about timing. So we can give our timings to it. We can give our attention to the events from here onwards. And that's our service. And that's how I explain service. And that's how I hope you understand the word service from the letter positions alone. I hope this was clear enough. Thanks for watching. Website, YouTube channel, books. Thanks again. Bye.